Sometimes all the how-to in the world won't make a difference if on the inside of us we don't believe that we can, or we think that there's something wrong with us. Sometimes just a little bit of understanding about who we are and how we tick is all that we need so that we can succeed. That's what I'm doing in this video. I hope you enjoy it. Stay to the end and hear what I have to offer you.
How you tick and who you really are. The first thing you need to know to succeed is an understanding of who you are and how you tick. Society has been built to accommodate the masses. We know that there are many learning styles and we don't learn all the same way. Some people learn better reading information and other people learn better hearing it. Some of us need to be hands-on. But in a traditional classroom setting, all those methods can't be taught. Everyone's innate gifts can't be nurtured, so there is a generalized way we go about teaching a bunch of people at the same time. This puts so many people at a disadvantage and leaves those of us who learn in a different way to feel like we're not as good as others, as smart as others, and so we're left feeling like there is something wrong with us. Einstein has been attributed to saying, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid." It turns out Einstein never said that. I looked it up to be sure. But while searching, I found some pretty great things written tracing its origin, and my purpose is to make a point about you, who you are, how you tick, and why it matters that you know it so that success can be absolute. What I'm about to read comes from quoteinvestigator.com. One time, the animals had a school. The curriculum consisted of running, climbing, flying, and swimming, and all the animals had to take all the subjects. The duck was good at swimming, better in fact than his instructor, and he made passing grades in flying, but he was practically hopeless in running. Because he was so low in this subject, he was made to stay after school and drop his swimming class in order to practice running. He kept this up until he was only average in swimming, but average was passing, so nobody worried about that, except the duck. The eagle was considered a problem pupil and was disciplined severely. He beat all others to the top of the tree in the climbing class, but he always used his own way of getting there, and so he failed. The rabbit started at the top of the class in running, but he had a nervous breakdown and had to drop out of school on account of so much makeup work in swimming. The squirrel led the climbing class, but his flying teacher made him start his flying from the ground up instead of the top down, and he developed charley horses from overextension at the takeoff and began getting C's in climbing and D's in running. The practical prairie dogs apprenticed their offspring to the badger when the school authorities refused to add digging to the curriculum. At the end of the year, an abnormal eel that could swim well and run, climb and fly a little, was made valedictorian. The purpose of my reading that was not to discuss teaching styles or the validity of public school system. It was to help you see yourself with different eyes. You know, it's funny. When I took sewing in school, I didn't know I could sew. We were set down in front of a sewing machine and given fabric to practice straight lines. I made an applique purse. I couldn't make the lip pillow we were instructed to make as our first assignment. I made a quilt. And while they were still on that one assignment, I made an applique blanket for my sister who was having a baby. It had the peanut characters on it that I had drawn and cut out in the color fabrics appropriate and appliqued on. I added the satin binding to the ends of it, and it went like that for the entire class. You are an amazing seamstress, Kathy. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to fail you. You didn't do any of the assignments. That's what my teacher told me. How many of us have been squished in a box, unable to see the light of day, forced to breathe someone else's air and see someone else's vision? It's time we stepped back and think for ourselves. It's time we saw what actually is, instead of what is expected of us. Did you know that only 8% of all people who make goals actually reach them? And it turns out the majority are organizationally challenged. When all is said and done, we've got what it takes to succeed. More on this as we move ahead. For now, I want you to get this. We've been taught to fly when we climb. We've been taught to climb when we fly. We've been taught to swim when we run. We've been taught to organize and focus when we visualize and dream. So right now, today, kick the perception you've had of yourself to the curb and embrace the new ideal of who you are and what the makings of success and productivity really is. Believe that you've got all you need inside you, but you've been taught by people who don't understand you and need you to be what they expect you to be instead of who you actually are. In the Action Steps video, you will complete your first assignment. I'm going to ask you to declare what animal you identify with. Are you a soaring eagle? A free dolphin? A powerful orca? Are you a wise, loyal elephant? Are you a bumblebee with laser focus when you are allowed to do what thrills your soul? Most likely, you are a combination of things. But here is one thing for sure. You are your own unique you, and exactly as you should be. All of us who have been challenged in the area of organization have many, many things in common, just like the OGPs do. We are learning how to live in a way that is suited to us best, not them. And when we do, what I've discovered as I've helped myself and hundreds of others to learn what you're learning is that nothing can stop us. This isn't about cleaning house. This is about living life on purpose. It's about loving the life we live.
What you just heard was part of my course, Tidy Tutor University. We don't just learn about how to clean a house, how to get a schedule together. We find out what's been stopping us. What are the blocks? What is the mindset we need to have? We find out how amazing we are exactly as we are, and we move forward how we tick. And that's why it works. I want to help you to be the best version of you, the one that you were born to be. Click on the link right here in the description box and get started today. Your life is waiting to begin.
You got bugs called a bug eye. You cook bacon, apple pie. If you sew, you fix a tear. Clean or clean my underwear. These are the things we do. The house is a mess with all the junk. The sink's clogged up with dinner time gunk. You pick up the phone and call the road